Hey guys, Whiteout625 Stays here, and today I'm going to tell you guys 10 things that all stealth games should include. Now, stealth games are games that allow or force you to take your time and be as sneaky as possible to complete your objective. There have been a wealth of great stealth games in video game history, but recently they have started to become less common. To any developers out there making stealth games, here are the essentials that we, the gamers, want. Number 1. Light detection. The fundamental idea of stealth is not being seen or noticed. Therefore, your enemy's vision is always something to keep in mind. Thief was the very first stealth game to feature light detection. This game encouraged you to stay in the shadows and sneak up on unsuspecting targets. Light is the most common use of detection, so use it wisely. Number 2. Sound detection. Appealing now to the sense of hearing, stealth games need to take into account the noise that your character makes when he or she moves. Thief was also the first game to introduce sound as a mechanic. Paired with hiding in the shadows, there are also surfaces that would muffle your footsteps so you can move with ease throughout a room without being detected. The Last of Us forces players to move slowly around clickers since their sense of hearing is quite keen. Later games like Splinter Cell Blacklist gave you the option to customize your apparel to be as quiet as possible. This is a large portion of the game. Hearing is half the battle in stealth. Number 3. Cover or hiding system. When simply hiding in the shadows doesn't work, especially if an enemy is standing right in front of you, you need more options. Stealth games of various franchises have been quite creative in where you can hide. Assassin's Creed allows the player to not only hide in a bale of hay, but you can also take out targets when they come near you. In the latest installment, Assassin's Creed Unity, the player can now take cover behind tables and walls. Metal Gear Solid allows you to hide under a cardboard box. This adds a comedic sense to the game, which is very well appreciated to distract us from the gritty mood. This cardboard box also allows the player to be mobile and stay hidden, which adds a whole new layer of options. 3D games aren't the only ones that can do this. Mark of the Ninja, which is a 2D side-scroller, allows you to hide behind doors and other landmarks around the map. For stealth games that also involve shooting, a great cover system is essential. Deus Ex Machina, Hitman, and the free-flowing cover system of The Last of Us are fine examples of great stealth shooters. Cover systems and hiding places in stealth games are things that we as gamers take for granted all the time. Number 4. Line of sight. Enemies can only see so far. When it comes to a visible line of sight that you can see in your heads-up display or minimap, game developers prefer to use a cone because it best imitates a real human's line of sight. In games like Stealth Inc., cameras and sentries have a light cone that you have to sneak by as it moves around. This game mechanic is slowly dying due to 3D games using a detection warning when you're about to get spotted. This is something that can make a game too easy for players, but if done right, it can add more strategy to a stealth games, such as distracting or trapping enemies. Number 5. Detection to inconspicuousness. A problem with some stealth games is the lack of realistic scenarios in detection. Some games have the player get really close to the end of a stealth-filled level just to be detected and forced to kill everybody. For true fans of stealth, this takes away the fun and satisfaction of finishing a level without having to kill anybody. Games like Assassin's Creed allow the player to run away and hide in a bale of hay until the coast is clear. This doesn't make the game any more challenging though. So, developers have thought of a way to make the players pay for being detected. Hitman makes the enemies go into hunt mode, where they are more alert and are constantly patrolling to find Agent 47. Even if this is implemented, games still need levels where detection is an automatic failure or give the player the option to turn that on. Number 6. Last known position. Some stealth games effectively create realistic scenarios by implementing the last known position mechanic. When detected, the player can try to escape by exiting the enemy's line of sight and hiding. The enemy, not knowing where the player went, would search the area around where they were last seen. This mechanic allows players a second chance at stealthing through an area. Most notably, Splinter Cell, Conviction, and Blacklist use this last known location very well. When detected, Sam Fisher is able to run away and get out of sight to hide, but the enemies will then be more alert of any suspicious activity. Some recent games like Assassin's Creed Unity and Sniper Elite 3 have implemented this into their games, letting their players experience real-life scenarios instead of trying to run away forever because the enemies somehow always know where you are once they see you once. Number 7. Environment Manipulation. Although maps are usually already presented to you, and it is your job to work through it yourself, there is always fun to be had in making this task a little bit easier. Simply closing doors behind you can prevent enemies from searching through a room that you just entered. Since the inception of Splinter Cell, Sam Fisher is able to shoot out the lights before he walks into a room. This allows the player to traverse the area with more ease, knowing that enemies won't be able to spot you in the dark at a distance. A refreshing idea to consider that I haven't seen yet is the ability to create more cover, whether by destroying a part of a building or room, or even using a dead body. Like I said, I've never seen it, so developers, be creative. Number 8. Large varied maps. Whether your game has specific maps for each level or you have an open world game, there needs to be some variety to keep the game from being stale. More places to explore allow the player to truly take in more of the game and think of different ways to accomplish the objective. Open world stealth games like Assassin's Creed and Batman Arkham series allows you to jump down from rooftops or take out enemies at a distance. Open world games aren't the only ones out there that can have great varied maps. Dishonored, even with its small number of levels, have big maps with great art design and hiding places to keep you entertained for hours, paired with its array of weapons and powers. One of the powers is called Blink, a power that allows you to carve out unconventional stealth routes throughout a level. Splinter Cell Blacklist rewards players for exploring the map and looking for different ways to accomplish the objective. Simply walking through a corridor will make a game become too repetitive, so we need more to see. Number 9. Gameplay Options. Once you have nice varied maps, the player now has more to work with in terms of stealth. Different ways of taking out enemies or walking past them safely are now options. Hitman has one of the biggest, if not the biggest, array of gameplay options in any stealth game. You can take out opponents silently with piano wire, walk right past them with the disguise on, go apeshit with your silver ballers, or set up traps for your targets. And we have only scratched the surface of this game. Some games, like Splinter Cell or the Batman Arkham series, force you in some instances to take both a stealthy and non-lethal approach. Of course, Batman doesn't kill anyone, so that is basically the entire series. More options give your game more replayability. More options most of the time equals more fun. Number 10. Cooperative Multiplayer. This is actually a debatable topic that may make or break a stealth game. Sneaking past the same AI is fun and all, but the real challenge can come from trying to do the same with other human players or alongside them. Many games have tried to perfect this, but it doesn't always work. Multiplayer and co-op modes that do work are in games like Splinter Cell, The Last of Us, and Assassin's Creed. Splinter Cell features both co-op and multiplayer depending on which game you're playing. Cooperative gives players a sense of real teamwork when taking out the targets at this right time. The levels are designed to be fun and free-flowing without taking away the challenge. Spies vs. Mercs pits two teams, stealthy spies and large armored mercenaries, against each other in a nail-biting experience. There are a wealth of game modes to play, and there's also the option of mixing the two factions together for a truly teamwork-oriented experience. The Last of Us encourages the players to scavenge for supplies at the beginning of a match, and then let loose to take out the enemy one by one. Assassin's Creed Multiplayer started as an underdog installment to the game, but in the end it really worked well. Two teams or in free-for-all match, players are assigned other players disguised as NPCs to assassinate and are rewarded on how stealthily they executed the kill. This mechanic keeps everyone at the edge of their seat in a thriller multiplayer experience. Like I said, co-op and multiplayer can make or break a game, so be careful and don't be afraid to take risks, developers. that is all for this video. If you think I missed anything that could really make a great stealth game, leave it in the comments below, because this is my favorite genre of video games, and I would love to hear what you guys have in mind. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you guys next time.